Okay, so we can't have short drinks on this DVD without having a really fine bourbon short drink, and this one actually is one of my own creations, and I've included it not because it's one that you can go out and get in any bar, but really it's just such a fabulous blend. I thought it's a good one to put in there. As we did before, we've got no ice in the short glass. You can actually freeze these before. It's entirely up to you. You just stick them in the freezer for 20 minutes and they'll be nice and frosted. Entirely up to you. It doesn't really matter. But for this one, of course, ice in the shaker. So we start with, again, a good scoop of ice in my Boston glass. I'm going to use lemon juice, but instead of squeezing it through a purpose-made squeezer, you know, if you don't have one, just simply squeeze it with your hand. If you find it difficult getting a good grip, you can get a fork, stick the fork in the lemon, and that will help. But I'm just going to use my fingers on the basis that if you haven't got a fork and you only have a lemon, you can do it this way too. So squeeze it until you've got about 20 ml, maybe 25 ml of lemon juice in there. I'm just going to keep going for a bit longer. And once you've got that, it's time to move on to the next ingredient. So that's probably enough lemon juice in there. Just let me wipe my hands. Now, the next ingredient is this. I've actually got it prepared. You can produce it yourself. This is peach puree. You can either use fresh peaches, boil them up, blend them down, or you can use canned peaches. Up to you. You can actually buy purees all ready to go. But this is peach puree. It's quite delicious. And again, I'm putting about 25 ml of peach puree in this. So now we've combined the sharpness of lemon juice with the sweetness of the peach. That's about 25 in there. Finally, before we get to the alcohol, this is maple syrup. And maple syrup, in a way, is one of those things that we use on our breakfast cereals and on pancakes and stuff like that. But it's only recently that it's been included in cocktails, but it's just a sort of wonderful oaky flavour to go with the sweetness. And I'm going to put about 10 mils of that in there, and that's quite a lot of sweetness. But it really does add quite a lot of character as well to the cocktail. And now, finally, the alcoholic ingredient. We're using bourbon here. We're using 50 mils of bourbon, so it's like a double shot, and we're going to put about 50, maybe I'll go up to 55, I'm not entirely sure, but it doesn't matter, around that sort of base, and then we're going to shake it all together. You can actually see at the bottom here the maple syrup waiting to be blended. So get your shaker on the top, tap it, turn it around. Because of the maple syrup, I'm giving it a bit more of a shake. So normally I would just do 4 or 5 shakes, but this time I've done about 5 to 6. 5 to 6 shakes. Take your strainer. It's ready to go. Remember, you've got the maple syrup in there for the sweetness. You've got the peach, which cuts with the lemon juice. Finally, the bourbon is the base. You can see a wonderful consistency. It's ready to go. We call this a Kentucky breakfast. You start your day with one of these. The rest of the day is a pure memory.